Okay, welcome to ANZCRL Combined Racing League's Bathurst 500. This is a replay of the first session of 40 laps. We had a total of 81 laps split into two sessions, and this is the actual start of the race. In-game time of 12 p.m. and we've got ×2 time progression, and so that should see us run it all the way up to 3 p.m. and that was the start for session 2. So I'm your host, Neil Haynes, known as Woody Lizard, and you can see Woody Lizard fourth on the grid on the standing. So this is the start. So on pole position was Jay Barrett 027 after his teammate Illogical Sports put on pole in the top 10 shootout on the Saturday in the number 33 Ned Racing car, and then Sado 15 put it on the second fastest time, but we've got his teammate Lockie 55s in the Preston Hire racing car, and then Pegasus did a tremendous job to put it on third on the second row in the Castrol racing car, and then Blue Falcon was able to put it on the fourth position alongside Pegasus on the second row for Woody Lizard, myself, and then we have Fish Racing in the D-Walt racing car, Tim Lawson in fifth, and Sado 15. So you heard Sado 15 with Lockie. You might be wondering what he's doing there back in the Coca-Cola car. Well, he was helping Red as he wasn't able to make the first session. So to keep the cars on the grid, Sado decided to jump into that Coca-Cola car and see what he could do. And we then had Dark Lord giving Automobilista 2 the first go. So we'll see how it all pans out, and we'll get this thing started. So the first lap, so we'll take the overview off. We've got the watching there, and off we go. So a good start by Jay Barrett. He's taken the lead there into the grid there. Oh, hang on, here we go. Gotta go trackside. So here we go up Mountain Straight. To the start of turn one, they've all got through nicely. Lockie is right behind now of Jay Barrett going up Mountain Straight. All looking clean. It looks like Tim Lawson having a look down the inside on Sado. They're all coming through Griffin's Bend. Looks like Tim Lawson thought better and just sort of get into a groove. Hold stations as Barrett puts the power. Oh no, he's had a spin out of the cutting early on, and as everyone filters through, he's got to now make a big 3-point turn to get going, so it leaves this man Lockie in front in the Preston Hire car. So he's got some nice clean air with Woody Lizard behind in second in the Mobile One Appliances car. And then the train filters on through with Pegasus, Fish Racing, Sado for Team Coca-Cola with Red, the team driver there. So it looks like the first lap will probably go to Lockie 55s. A nice start by Lockie. Kept it out of trouble when he saw Jay Barrett spinning in front of him out of the cutting. So that was a nice awareness from Lockie and everyone else, all the rest of the field coming on through too. As look at this train coming through, leading the way with Pegasus. Oh, this doesn't work, probably trying to catch him up, but here we go. Pegasus with Fish putting a lot of pressure out of the chase. And he's now getting attacked by Sado 15, who's actually got in front of him, so it looks like Fish has had to surrender that lead. Oh, so annoying with the interface not working properly with the changes, but here comes Fish back at Sado, taking it down the inside into Murray's, into Hell Corner I mean, and it looks like he's got the big drag up the mountain now, so he is in that fourth position again. But Sado, that red Coca-Cola car, has got plenty of grunt up the mountain straight. Look at this, up into the Griffin's Bend, up down the inside. Oh, and Fish has just ran a little bit wide, as does Tim Lawson. And then they go up through the cut-in. Very tricky to get that power on early, as we saw earlier with Jack Barrett. Surrendering the lead of the race. He didn't even get halfway through the first lap. This battle here is looking very tasty indeed. Early on, the pace will be fairly hot too, as most all the runners are running soft tyres. It's really about managing these tyres in these V8 supercars, the soft tyres that they are all running. Track temperature, I think from memory, was around about 48, 49 degrees. So it's all about managing, especially the right front. It's copping a lot of abuse around here at Bathurst. Sato's just now got a little gap, and he's starting to now latch onto the back of Pegasus, who's doing a really good job. In third position. While Lockie's now got a good, almost 3-second gap on Woody Lizard, who's in second. This is a replay from our Bathurst 500 that we had here for ANZCRL Combined Racing League. Sato's car, we've seen how quick he is up Mountain Straight. When he challenged Fish the previous lap, he got him down the inside, but it looks like Pegasus has got his measure here this time round. Oh, but he's got a nice run out of Griffin's, but he's going to find himself on the outside coming up to the cut-in, so he's ducked back inside just to protect this Fish. He's lurking behind, ready to pounce any little mistake that Sato may have. Sato now right on the back of Pegasus, who's in the Castrol Racing car, but we've also got Dark Lord in the pits. The Patronus Racing car entry. But we're going to keep on board here. This battle for third position on lap 3 is intense, as they come on down the hill. Pegasus will be lapping this up. You can see Woody Lizard in second, and just in front of him is Lockie, but now he's got to think what's down the side of him, which is Sato 15, with a run out of the Forest Elbow. And will he be able to just cut across before we get into the chase? They're side by side at the moment. Who's going to yield? It looks like Pegasus is the one to yield, but no, he's back at him. And now Fish around the outside, which will have the inside into the chase, which he's been able to make it stick. Fish, well, great move by Fish. Kicks up a bit of dirt on the exit of the chase. And now Fish also, so Pegasus has dropped 2 spots in a matter of less than a kilometre around this 6-kilometre circuit. And that won't face Pegasus. He'll just knuckle down here at the moment, see if he can follow Fish. Now up front we find Lockie 5.5s in the Preston Hire car, doing a very clean early stint here at the moment, lap 4 of 40. We split these sessions into 2 to give the opportunity to do driver swaps here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League, as you can't do it on Automobilista 2 with a driver swap. Don't they sound good, these V8 supercars on Automobilista 2? So Sato is now, will catch up on Woody Lizard, see what he's doing. He's now starting to get under a little bit of pressure with Sato 15. And Sato's also bringing Fish Racing with him as well. Fish Racing not too far away. Fish Racing 3 actually took away the Bathurst 12 hour earlier in the year. A race we had here. Our first special event. That's what ANZCRL Combined Racing League's all about on Automobilista 2 for Australia and New Zealand races. Is we're all about getting some special events happening, especially in 2023. We're using this year, 2022, to run a couple just to iron out a few things, get used to all the things we need to do to get some nice polished events for people to join and hopefully get some big grids for all to enjoy. But now back to the action here on track as they start lap 5. Woody Lizard in second position, but how long can he stay there? We've got Sato 15 teaming up with Red in a very likewise car, the red Coca-Cola car, as Sato's trying to look around the outside. Woody's taking the inside line. He's going to say, you're going to take it the hard way here, Sato. Can Woody stay in check here down the inside? No, he hasn't. Sato's been able to stay on the preferred racing line. I think Woody just had to err on the side of caution there. The track wouldn't be too dirty down the inside yet, but it's still early. Only 5 laps complete, or only 4 laps complete on the 5th lap of 40. So a long way to go yet. They're looking at about an hour and a half roughly race distance time to do the 40 laps, probably just a bit under that. It's all about getting settled in, getting comfortable. Let's pick up Dark Lord now. Now he looks like he's almost going to be a lap behind shortly. Not too far will Lockie 55s be, so you can see a little bit of damage at the front bonnet, so that's why he's gone into the pits early. We've seen on lap 2 or 3 he was in for some repairs. There's Lockie in the background. So credit to Dark Lord though, he's only just got into the game, thought he'd give it a go, getting used to the V8 supercars. Oh, as he's just run a bit, he's run straight across the chase there, took the safer option so he didn't spin, but he's got to be careful of this rejoin. Here he comes. Oh, he's holding up for everyone else by the looks of things, so we've got Sato gone through. So yes, he's just down there on the inside. You can just see him filtering through now after Tim Lawson. It could have been Pegasus actually. So Sato in second, chasing down which will be his teammate Lockie 55's in the Preston hire car. What is going to happen if Sato gets onto the back of Lockie? Will he make it a hard time for Lockie? You'd think that he wouldn't want to be in a teammate, doesn't want to destroy their chances as he's helping out Red here in the Coca-Cola car. But knowing Sato, he's a racer true and true, so he'll still challenge his teammate, but I'd say that he just won't put in those 50-50 attacks or opportunities, I should say. He might err on the side of caution. Isn't this a great shot as they come on through the cutting? The Jay Barrett, when the cameraman wants to finally pick him up, here he is coming up mountain straight in the Ned Whiskey car, still on the lead lap. 31 seconds off the lead. It's carrying a bit of damage. I don't think he's pitted. Obviously he hasn't pitted, been only 30 seconds behind, so that first little incident in the wall would have given him a bit of steering damage, one would imagine. Especially that front left is all a bit crumpled up. So that's a shame for the pole sitter. And let's see if he can concentrate and try and get this car to the pit window, which is around about our lap 19, to fill these tanks up to get to the end. They need roughly 5 litres a lap of the 103 litres. I think it is 113. I'm not too sure what the capacity of the tanks are again. But basically they'll get around 21, 22 laps on a full tank of fuel. So we'll see what happens there if he can hold it off. But let's get back here to the battle for third. Looks like it's a bit closer than battle for first, but it's getting very close for first as well. As they come along the starting strip once again. As the cameraman likes to be up the top of the mountain there before he picks up the drivers. Here we go. So keep an eye on Lockie, the leader of the race. We got a 2:05.296 from Sado early on. Oh, that was the previous lap, so the fastest man on the track at the moment is Sado 15. But look at this battle behind him for Fish Racing as well. Right on the back of Woody Lizard here for position 3. Oh, he's straight. He's got a better line out of the cut-in, Fish over Woody Lizard, so you could really straight line it and get that power on. Not much you can do around the top of the mountain here to really follow the car unless the car makes a mistake. You've got to give a bit of respect to the other cars. You can try and pressure them into a mistake, but you don't want them to be then causing you to be involved in any sort of mistake, accident type thing as well. So you just got to take it easy. You can see Fish wants to get going. He's got the pace over Woody Lizard, but he's stuck behind the Mobile One Appliances car at the moment. He can't do anything about it. Woody's looks like a bit better drive. Fish was just a little bit loose as he just didn't let the car come out. He took a tighter exit, and that's cost him some time down Conrod. You can see Woody Lizard actually pulling away. And Fish now will probably start catching up that lost ground by being in the draft. Hard on the brakes into the chase. Oh, great racing by these two as well. As Woody's protecting down the inside here, giving Fish a little bit of room. Fish sticking it around the outside. Oh, they're getting so close. A lot of respect being showed by these two drivers, but here we go, the big long run up down the pit straight, but Woody's still in the inside. But Fish has got the preferred outside line. He's been able to get that power down, and you got Night Pegasus behind in the Castrol racing car, just lapping this up, seeing it all happen in front of him. Got the front row seat of this battle for third position. It looks like Fish is going to hold on here down the inside into the Griffins. Yes, he does. So nice patient move by Fish. So now will he be able to have the pace to catch on to the leaders? He's already pulled a little gap on Woody. You can just see Fish's car is just handling well. Got some good mechanical grip going on. Oh, Woody's car looked a little bit loose coming out of the cut-in. And now Sado 15's doing the same thing in return to Lockie for the lead of the race at the moment. Flames billowing out of the Preston Hire car. So we're up to lap 8, about to be lap 9. This is the opening stances. It's actually had quite a bit of action to start off with, so some nice overtakes. Now we got Pegasus not too far as well on the timing boards here from Woody Lizard, within a second of Woody as well. But this is less than a second for the battle for the lead. Lockie hasn't put a foot wrong yet. As you can just see the position 3 of Fish just coming onto the starting straight when these guys are just leaving it. So the length of the starting straight is all that's the gap between third and first as they're coming up Mountain Straight. Some great visuals here on Automobilista too. Good sound with these V8 supercars as well. Oh, Sado's gone wide. Let's go into the action here with let's see what Tim Lawson's doing. Actually, he's not in his car. His car was a Bottle Falcon, so he's in the DJR Shell V-Power car for the first stint. I think obviously with the live stream we had for the final session, he was back in the Bottle car, so don't get too confused. That is Tim Lawson. He's in 6th at the moment. Still holding stations with the still latching on, like he's still not too far away. Oh, just brushing that wall. That shouldn't affect the car other than a bit of cosmetic damage. Full damage scale on, 100%. It's just the nose end, going front-in nose end will give you plenty of bit of suspension damage. Everything else down the rear of the car is not too bad. Just got to be careful though. If you hit it sort of more flush than not an angle, you will get rear suspension damage. So Fish Racing now is up the ante. He's getting that pace up near like the leaders, so he's not losing any time, but he's not really gaining any time at all. But the leaders, but at least he's cleared Woody Lizard and he's in the third position. So he's here we are watching Fish now. So in the D-Welt car, and he's got a gap of about 4.5 seconds roughly to reach Sato, who's not that far off the lead of Lockie 5.5s. So on they go up Mountain Straight. So this is a replay from the weekend, session 1 of 40 laps. And then we had the live stream that's already there on our Twitch channel and on ANZCRL, which was 41 laps. It was a very entertaining final session as well. But this is all about how did they get there? How did they start in that session 2? This is the story that unfolds. So Fish trying to see if he can get going on. Pegasus has had a problem. So Tim Lawson has actually been able to move up into 5th position. So Pegasus was actually catching Woody Lizard. And we've missed that. Something's happened with Pegasus. But, oh, there he is. He's up at the top of the mountain. Up at where Jake Barrett, Barrett's had a spin on the first lap, Jay Barrett. So now Jay Barrett, here he is, the man that lost the lead of the race on the first lap in the same spot as where Pegasus has spun. It would have been out of the cutting. Something's happened there. Now, what's he going to do? Will he be able to hold off a fast-charging Barrett 27? The car's got pace, the Ned Whiskey car. Maybe added too many whiskies. Started at lunchtime on Sunday for him to lose a lead. Only into turn 4. They're up through the cutting. You'd actually probably say turn 3. Actually, you got the first corner of Hell Corner, then you got Griffins, and then you've got the cutting. So, oh, he's finding himself on the grass. You've got to be careful there. He's been able to hold up, but oh, Pegasus has gone off. Pegasus is gone. So Barrett is now taken up to 6. So in one lap, Pegasus has dropped from 5th down to 7th, all from some mistakes. He's got to get his head back into the game here. So easy to lose plenty of time and positions in this round here, Mount Panorama. Even the bottom section, if you have a spin, you can be on the grass for a while trying to regather, so that can cost you plenty of time. And then up the top, you're just going to cost yourself damage, which usually means pit stop for repair. But let's go up front again. Lockie has got that second lead on Sato. Sato's charging hard now after he had that little mistake into Griffins as well. Griffins catching a few people out. We've seen Sato fast down the straights. I reckon there's a bit of extra grunt in the bonnet of that Coke racing car. cars are equal though, but Sato for some reason was able to just get that car, the power on out of corners very well. He had the suspension set up well, I'd say, where it was just squatting perfect for him, where it was just biting. He could get the drive out of the corners. And the help of the draft, you'd reach that top speed a lot quicker than the other car in front. And let's see if Sato makes a challenge this lap around, lap 12 of 40. And Fish, you can see the graphic there, he's actually catching them. It was about a 6 second gap. It's now under 5 seconds. So he's definitely quicker than Lockie's, roughly the same sort of time. That previous lap around, a 2:05.3 for Fish, a 2:05.2 for Sato. Flames billowing out of the Preston car. Again, very running on a rich fuel mixture. Giving it everything. Actually, Lockie's pretty much, he's led every lap so far. Hasn't led every moment of the race though. That was to Jay Barrett. He led up to out of the cutting, and that was it. That's when the car looped, when he was getting the power on. Caught him out. Look how Sato just uses every bit of the road behind in that Coke car. You could see that he was right on the edge of the road, just missing the concrete barrier on exit at Forest Elbow. Gaining so close now. You can't have much more between these two without them touching. So you'd think that Sato at the moment is being held up a little by Lockie 5.5s in the Preston hire car. And don't forget though, these guys are teammates in that Preston car. Sato was doing red, one of the drivers, a favour in the Coke car, and ran the first session because he could not make it. So well done to Sato for putting his hand up for that. So doing double duties for the race. One thing it will be doing for Sato though, it'll be getting him primed up. It'll get him in the zone. He probably hasn't actually done a practice run of 40 laps yet in the game. So it'll set him up so when he does go into the Preston hire car, as we see, oops, let's get on to the cockpit and track. So we got the Preston hire, the Petronas car coming in for a pit stop. But we'll go back to the battle here. Few little things you need to do to get the interface off, click a few other buttons, but here we are back here with a nice screen of all the action in all its glory. The battle for the lead here for the Bathurst 500. They've been racing for just under 30 minutes at the moment. Be around about 27, 28 minutes of racing so far on track. We will go on board at one stage of these cars too, so you can really hear the V8s singing. They're such a great sounding car in the game. Such a fun car to drive too. Nothing better than using your right foot to steer a car. Really controlling, you've got to be precise with your throttle inputs. Use it to help the car rotate as well. But don't over rotate, as Jay Barrett found out on the opening lap. Oh, Fishy's enjoying seeing that these two battling, holding each other up a little bit. But look at all those times there in the timing screens. They were all on 2:05s, nothing between them at all. The fastest three cars on track by a long way. Woody Lizard with a 2:15 that last lap. That must have been a little mistake. Now he's in the clutch. Oh, as Lockie comes right out wide, leaving some yellow marks on the paint there on the wall, giving the wall some character. I tell you what, these walls, if they could only talk. They got a rich history of many big moments. One over there, out of the cut in there, one would be remember of Bartlett going over in the big Camaro, the blue Camaro, Channel 9. And when it was upside down on its roof, obviously Channel 6, they all said in the commentary. How long will Lockie 5-5 be able to hold off Sado here? Will the pressure get to him? He looks like he's in good form. Lockie on iRacing, a lot of the NASCAR Cup racing he does. He's used to cars without not too much grip, so he's enjoying it. It's obviously the transfer over from iRacing to Automobilista 2 with its different physics. It's great to see Lockie 5-5's back after we used to race with him quite a bit on the Xbox on Project Cars 2. But here we are, Saturday 15, doing his thing, trying to get that power down in the Commodore. I won't say Commodores because they're just a generic car that they've... Project Cars have had more the Ford Falcon, or it was the Ford Falcon, the FG. Now this one here is definitely the looks of the Holden Commodore. Dark Lord back in the pits again, struggling a little bit. Still rotating though, still giving it a go, taking a lot of lessons here on how to get used to the car in the game. I think it's time that we actually go on the roof here to have a little look. Saturday's challenge on. Preston Hire car of Lockie 5-5's up over the top of the mountain. Off the throttle a bit, gets a good little run out of McPhillamy, down over Skyline. The S's, and we've got the dipper, been ever so carved out so to not drop off as much as it used to back in the day. It's been reprofiled over the years. Oh, look at this, as close as you want to get. Almost latched onto the back of the Hino sign there, of the Hino sign of the Preston Hire car. Here we go, is this going to be a move? Look at Sato, he's got the run. Will he have a look? He's had to back off there. It's very wise not to try and give it a go. And looks like Lockie's defending down there on the inside. That car is hooked up, being able to take that inside curve of the chase. Wow, how good is that? Let's get back to the on track here. It is definitely heating up. Tim Lawson slowly making his way onto the back of Woody Lizard, slowly as well, just keeping within tabs of Woody in fourth position. But look, this is going to be a three-way battle shortly, with Fish slowly edging every bit closer. Roughly a second faster that previous lap due to the two leaders battling. So they're both holding each other up just a little bit. Well, Lockie's holding Sato up, but with Sato battling Lockie's times has slowed down just that little bit as well. Fish running with his headlights on. He's definitely making it a hard task for Lockie at the moment. He's keeping Lockie honest. Oh, come on, cameraman. There we go. Keep an eye on the front car. It gives us a good view actually of Sato 15's challenges because he's so close at the moment. Having a look down the inside of Forest Elbow. It's actually a good spot where cars can make a pass. But then you can also set up for this big drag down Conrod. But the cars, unless you're starting to overlap around now, it's still too risky to try and make the pass because you've got to be well and truly alongside or cleared before you make this big flat out entry into the chase. The little kink, they're flat out through there doing 292 kilometres an hour. No room for error. You can't get two cars through there at that pace. They can try, but it would probably end in tears, I would say. That's great respectful driving, plus being Australia, New Zealand, we know the dangers around here at Mount Panorama from the real life races when cars have little slip-ups. Or any Australian, New Zealand automobilista drivers watching this replay at all, at any time. It'll be archived back onto our YouTube channel, or ANZCRL, ANZ Combined Racing League YouTube channel as well, saved for history viewing. And anyone wanting to do some league racing on, especially on Monday nights, we really encourage people to see Gravel Trap Legends on Discord, GTL. They do run a tight ship, catering for New Zealand and then Australian drivers. So it's very entertaining and very good ping rates as well between the drivers. So they run a great league on a Monday night. Varying cars, whatever's there on offer. Just finished, as we speak, a GT1 championship over 6 rounds, I think it was, and it was so entertaining. Hour-long races, but finished with a Nordschleife 2.4, 2 hours 24 minutes with times 10 time progression. It was a challenge for everyone. With only 2 drivers dropping out, I think there was end up being 23 drivers finishing that race. So big healthy grid in that group. And the other group as well, race engineers running the V8 supercars on a Tuesday night. I believe they're an overseas league, but they use an Australian member to run the league. So the ping rates for the Australian and New Zealand crew are very favourable. As here comes Sato now. He now needs to do something, make a move, because he's got Fish Racing now just so close. And that's going to add an extra complexity to this race as well for Sato. What does he do? Does he protect his teammate, who is Lockie 55's officially in the Preston Hire car? Those that are just joining us, Sato is just driving this car for Red in the Coca-Cola car for Red. And I'm not saying the colour for the car. It is actually, it's Tim Lawson is in the pits. He's made a mistake. He's on lap 18, so he's just on that pit window. Will he get to the end though? It's round about out lap 18, lap 19. It's going to be touch and go. When he gets that tank filled up. But look at this battle now for the lead, a 3-car battle. We're not even halfway through this stint, quarter of the way, if we're going to start talking about 81 laps in total for a 500-kilometre race. Split into 2 to allow drivers to swap back into their car. So Sato, you'll see in session 2, back in the Preston Hire car. Lockie will have a break. He'll probably sit back and watch the race, cheering Sato on. Fish, he's one that's doing a solo entry. He's going to double stint it. Fish, we've got to have a look at Sato if the cameraman can come on to Sato, because Fish is really challenging into the chase. So the battle for second is definitely now heating up. Sato has dropped off the back of Lockie now. It gives an opportunity to Fish to try and make that move and slot into second without worrying that there's no available space between Sato and Lockie. There's a car length between the two, between second and first. So will that give Fish all he needs to try and make a move on Sato? He's in that draft, but it looks like Sato's car is still pulling away. As we said, he's just got great drive out of the corners, Sato. I'm just trying a different also resolution in this stream compared to what we had in the final race stream, the live stream we did. We had 1080p, this was 900p. 60 frames, so just seeing if it's actually, I found the cars look like they were travelling way too fast to what they were really doing in real life, like in the game when I watched back the replay, whereas watching at the review here at the moment, it looks like the cars are actually travelling more of a true pace. I think maybe my computer just could not keep up for the 1080p. But anyway, back to this action. Quality might be just that little bit down, but at least it looks a lot smoother. Cars look more realistic in the pace that they're travelling across the mountain. They're not on ×2 or anything like that speed. Those headlights are definitely working. They're very bright on our monitors. I'm sure that's going to be creating a little bit of a hazard to Sato as well, with Fish just moving side to side with those different lines. That lights will be reflected in his mirrors. Oh, Sato's in early. So Sato's taken the opportunity to pit in lap 9 in the start of lap 20. So he's halving that race. So in he comes. So that brings Fish now into second. Now Woody Lizard, will he take the opportunity to pit now knowing that Sato's in? Or will he try and carry on? Doesn't look like he's going to go in the lane. He's staying out. And after Jay Barrett losing the lead early in the race and was dead last, he's now back into up into fifth. He's just over a minute behind the leaders on our timing screens. Let's see how Dark Lord's going in the Petronas car. Oh, not so well. I'd say that he's cooking those front tyres. He just hasn't got that turn in. Tim Lawson, he's pitted early now. He's one that's actually got the fuel on board, seeing if he can actually get to the end. But now up front again, let's have a look at here. Fish racing with the pace, matching the pace of Lockie, but Lockie must have had a little mistake this time around then, because their previous laps were the same, so there should have been a bit of a gap. But now Fish is really closed in. The relentless pressure of Fish racing 3. Who's another driver. Both these drivers leading this race are actually from iRacing. And they race, one in the NASCARs, the guy in front, Lockie 55s, and Fish Racing runs the V8 supercars. Oh, and in comes Lockie, so that's going to hand the lead now to Fish Racing. Oh, come on, cameraman. We'll go cockpit, we'll pick up Fish. Scrapes on the wall, from the wharf on the side of that car of Fish Racing, so Lockie's in the pits. Woody Lizard actually going around again, so he's following Fish. So you can see Lockie's car just to the right, maybe shortly in pit lane, just there, getting service, getting a fresh set of tyres on, and we've got Dark Lord and Tim not too far in front of Woody. So you can see the fuel doesn't work here on the replays. We've got 113 litres of fuel. It's saying for 40. And same as those stat. And so that just tells us how much fuel that they started on with 113 litres. That's full tanks. So will we see fishing this time round, or will he continue? It looks like Sado now making his way towards the back of Barrett, which he'll be in for pits too shortly because he didn't pit. So you'd imagine that maybe Jay Barrett will be in this time around. Woody Lizard and Barrett, I think Pegasus might have been in the pits already. I'm not too sure. Tim Lawson is already been pitted. He pitted on lap 18. Dark Lord's visited the pit quite a few times. So let's see. Will he go another lap? No, he won't. He's in. So Fish Racing comes on in. Now he's in for a full tank of fuel. Not too sure if he's going to get tyres done. Let's see with Woody Lizard now. What's he doing? Is he coming in? Has he got enough fuel for another lap? He's staying out, so he's got good fuel economy. So he's probably got the better fuel economy out of the leading pack, but it's not going to really affect with a one-stop race of a session of 40 laps. So, but at least that gives him the opportunity of fresher tyres too. So Woody takes the lead for the first time of this race, but it'll only be briefly, as one would imagine he would be almost running on oily rags. Unfortunately, we can't see the fuel number in the car. As Sado now, when we pick up, you'll see he's right on the back of Jay Barrett. We'll probably see Jay Barrett in the pits. You may see him filtering into the pit lane here. He's staying there to the left. Yes, in comes Barrett for his fuel stop. So that brings Sado back into 4th position. So it'll be interesting to see where this all filters out. So Fish is actually taken the lead of the race after the pit stop. So he's come out in front of Lockie 5.5s. So he's leapfrogged Lockie in the pits. It's a nice quick pit stop by the DeWalt crew. It's Lockie now just running a little bit wide out of McPhillamy on the run down to Skyline. We saw in the background from memory too, as I was in that session. This session here driving here, myself, Woody Lizard, that he started to get a reoccurring injury happening. He started losing leg strength and finding it hard to brake. Bit like myself, sideways coming into pit lane, locking the rears up a little bit. In we come, ready for my pit crew to work away at my car, see if we can get back out in time. I don't have the pit crew out in my my settings, sorry guys, so that's why you can't see it. But anyway, back to now Fish Racing. He's going to take the lead of this race for the first time. Well, he was in the lead of the race after Lockie pitted, but here he is, he's resumed the lead of the race. And Lockie has actually lost a lot of time, and he's obviously had a moment somewhere, and now Sado 15 has caught the back of Lockie. But one would think too, Sado's made a mistake somewhere or done something wrong, because he's got a big difference to Fish, and they were so close together when they all pitted. So maybe Fish didn't do the tyres, and that's why he's so quick too. And I can probably confirm that there was no tyres on the DeWalt car. So that's been the difference. how he's been able to make a 16-second. Well, when you say 16-second, he was right. Lockie was behind him when he came out, so maybe Lockie didn't put any new tyres on either. I think Saturday's put tyres on definitely because Lockie's made that mistake. Let's see how Pegasus is faring at the moment. Where the wildflowers grow. All the daisies. Here he comes. Oh, and Woody Lizard not too far from Pegasus. So we'll keep an eye on here because Woody Lizard will be maybe only a matter of time before he can find himself on the back of Pegasus and battling for 4th position. He's lost that position to Pegasus. Not too sure if he needs to still pit though. I think that Pegasus will need a pit. He won't get to the end. I can't remember when he's pitted. He would have pit one time before when he lost it before lap 10, maybe for damage repair. Now let's go on board my car for a lap. Oh, there we go, Pegasus in. So enjoy a lap around Bathurst here. There's a lap around Mount Panorama on board Woody Lizard's Mobile One Appliances car. And let's get back to the action here because Pegasus has now got Tim Lawson right on the back of him after Pegasus come out for his pit stop. Pegasus trying to get his tyres probably back up to temperature. They should be up to temperature now, but Pegasus having a look down the inside here. This is going to be a great little pass. This is where both drivers need to commit and be kind to one another, which they have. So two went through that little kink really well. Said earlier that it's not often that you will see, well, not even that. I said that two cars can't go through there, but they just show that you can with a little bit of respect. So Pegasus now has dropped down. And why we can't pick up Tim so quickly there when he was so close to Pegasus, one would question the cameraman here on Automobilista 2 when we're switching between the drivers. But it doesn't seem to be an issue when we do the live stream as a race director, but on the replays it happens. So little bugs there. Don't these cars sound great? So we're past the halfway point of this session. We've got 15 laps remaining. Fish racing on lap 26. So he's not that far away from actually lapping Tim Lawson and Pegasus at the moment. Sato chasing Lockie. So Lockie at the moment has got about a 10-second margin, just under 10 seconds actually to Sato at the moment as he coming up the mountain. And here comes Sato in the Coke car. And then Woody Liz is about 12 seconds behind. So they're sort of evenly spaced from second to fourth. Not much in it. Woody's still in intention to take a podium. Well, it's not even a podium because it's only part way through the race. We deem it as a bit like a safety car period between lap 40 and then 41, which will be the first lap of the second session. So they'll all start the next session as they finish this, and the cars that are lap down will have to wait a lap to be lapped. Maximum laps waiting will be 3 laps. So if you're more than 3 laps down, you'll only be 3 laps down, because at the end of the day we want people racing, we don't want people waiting to get going in the final session. So you get a bit of a leg up there. It definitely being 3 laps down, you will be out of contention to win the race, or even probably get a podium being 3 laps down. So at least it gives a true representation of the podium after our event. As we said, this is our first year doing the 500 on Automobilista 2. We're only new to it here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League after morphing from Xbox Project Cars 2. Slowly some of our members, all the drivers here on our screen are all from Xbox. So we've got a good 8 driver showing here, plus a few others that will join session 2. So slowly we're all moving onto the PC, enjoying our racing on Automobilista 2 and other titles on the PC. But we want to start bringing some special events like we do on the Xbox to Automobilista 2. Concentrate on doing that in 2023 next year. Run 8 to 9 special events. Examples are the Daytona 24 at the start of the year, the Monaco Grand Prix in all different years and cars. So I think this year we're still yet to run our 1988 version of the Monaco Grand Prix. I'd say that we may look at the new Formula 1 cars for next year for the Monaco Grand Prix. Then we've got the Nordschleife. We can do something with that. We've got Spa, the GT3s for the 2.4 hour. We've got the Bathurst 12 hour. Obviously the Bathurst 1000. There's plenty that we've got on offer. Got the option to also run Suzuka 10 hour as well with the layout here in the game. Got the Indy hopefully coming out, Indy 500 maybe, with the new America pack soon to be dropped. As Lockie now starting to find himself under attack with his teammate again here, Sato 15. Not much there now, 8 seconds, so he's slowly closing that gap. It was over 10. It was just under 10 seconds. Sato a bit squirmish. As Pegasus now starting to find his groove back again, and looks like he's starting to re-catch Tim in front of him. We've still got 7 cars on the lead lap here at lap 27 of 40. 13 to go. I think that these guys are going to be highly at risk though to fall in a lap down. It's going to be close though. They may be able to just stay on the lead lap. Jay Barrett will definitely fall a lap down, you'd think, unless he can start dishing out some 205s, but he's been constantly in the 207s. Again, another driver giving Automobilista 2 a drive for the first time as well. I believe he's only just had his PC delivered just recently as well. So learning all the new things that you need to learn after coming across from console. Pegasus having a good run this afternoon in this Castrol racing car. So it looks like Lockie's still been able to manage matching similar times to Fish. But Sato's definitely the fastest car on the track at the moment. They'll pick up Jay Barrett coming out through the cut-in by the looks of this. Here we come. Oh, his bumper's now hanging. It's only just holding on. That's going to be creating a little bit of issues for him. So he's been in the wars. He's going to hand this over to Illogical Sports in the second session. Illogical, the man that actually got it onto pole position. So we could expect there'll be some fast times out of the Ned Whiskey car in session 2. So it'll be definitely a car to keep an eye on, especially for Illogical. But again, Illogical, this will be his first time running decent laps on the game as well. He's currently been doing quite a bit, as most people will hear, on iRacing again. iRacing is good for what it is as well. All these titles are good. They all offer something. I like the idea of a one-off fee. You've got the game, get the DLCs if you want in the game, and then that's it. The developers are doing a great job, I've found, on Automobilista 2, similar to, I guess, what they do also on Assetto Corsa, Competizione Only. Yes, they have some slip-ups every now and then, but they're trying to give back to the community as best as they can for their commitment to the game. Oh, and Sato now within 5 seconds, so we'll keep an eye on them shortly. Tim has been able to extend that gap on Pegasus a little bit. Now 5 seconds. Pegasus was getting it down, but obviously maybe the 2:02.10 that previous lap for Pegasus, as Tim Lawson bouncing off the walls after he's just been given a little bit of a lifeline to be able to have a bit of a gap on Pegasus. He's got to be careful he doesn't put this thing in the wall. Just regather himself. Oh, and Lockie's now starting to drop behind Fish. He's done a 206. Sato with a 204.899. And that's 10 laps in on these tyres too. We do think that he did change the tyres because he's the one that lost out the most out of the top 3. But at 204.899, so it just shows you these soft tyres do last. The temperatures are 49 degrees out there on track, the track temperature. So the softs work, the hards don't really respond well with the V8 supercars. You're better off just managing the temperatures on the soft tyres and letting them last. Fish Racing, he's doing a 205.83 for the previous lap. They're on double stint tyres, so he's actually done 30 laps on those soft tyres. It's all about keeping these cars smooth. As much as they're really live in the rear end, you need to use your right foot to control that. Smaller steering inputs, use the rear to rotate it. It's like anything, you start to push. Oh, there's Lockie there now. You can just see how much time Sato's gained on Lockie. This is the point where Lockie was struggling. He knew he had 10 more laps to go and he was in a little bit of pain. As was Woody Lizard, as was Tim Lawson. We had the injured crew. We had 3 drivers driving injured on the weekend. Doing a good job, putting on a show. As the sign says, going down Conrod, conquer the mountain, and that's one thing that all the drivers wanted to do. They wanted to get this race done, put it in the bank, so they completed it. Next year with more drivers, if we can get 16 drivers, at least double the field, it will go to the 1,000 kilometre race. 4 sessions, 3 of 40 laps. The final session 41 laps, make 161 laps. Plenty of options for driver changes. The advantage we get to do on Xbox, which we might be able to do if we get a live stream going each session here on Automobilista 2, is run a live fuel number as well. So the fuel that you finish on is the fuel that you start the next session on as well. So it brings in fuel strategy between sessions. You just can't start the new session full of fuel. These guys are going to be near empty at the end of this session, so it would have opened up. Would they pit sometime now to have more fuel to run into the game, or will they pit on the last lap? Or some of the cars, like Woody Lizard, he was able to hold out till lap 23 to pit before he pitted. He probably could stay out, take the lead of this session, not pitting for fuel, but then he'll have to pit early on in the first session, but that would have given him some track position as well. Who knows? That's the strategy that can be done. We know on a live stream going in car the fuel numbers are reading correctly or near enough, so it gives us a gauge. There's something that we can do like we do on the Xbox, which really does open up strategies over the 4 sessions. It's not just 40 lap races each session. Cars that are lap down can actually get their laps back by doing a bit of fuel strategy at the end of the race. Oh, Sato! Oh, he's just touched the tyre barrier, but that won't do anything to the car other than put some nice black marks down the side. Oh, he was lucky there. Now let's have a look at the man leading this race, Fish Racing 3. He's just got this thing under control at the moment. 8 laps including this one to go. He's just got to keep it moving like this without pushing too hard. He's in that groove though. He's just comfortable doing 205s at the moment, even low 206s. He's just going to have to, he just needs to keep doing that with a 24-second margin over Lockie, with a hard charge in Saturday 15 at the moment. And there's still that little battle between Pegasus and Tim Lawson for 5th and 6th. Keeps going up and down. And we'll have to keep an eye on that. Actually, we'll go and have a look at Tim Lawson when the cameraman decides to pick him up. sitting on top of the mountain there, saying where is he? Let's just go on board. Sorry about this, guys. See, he's going up the mountain straight. So there is Tim in the, Pegasus in the background. He's coming over the hump. So Tim's still doing a 2:07, a little bit faster than Pegasus that lap around. So he looks like he's got that one controlled at the moment. There's a few battle scars on the side of Lockie's car. Evidence of where he's collected the war a little bit here and there. He had such a nice, clean, faultless run to the pit stops, Lockie. And like anything, when you're nursing a bit of an injury, it's the fatigue starts setting in. Your brain starts wandering to that pain. You just get a little bit distracted. You get a little bit lazy in your inputs. Good thing about sim racing, there's all those elements. Oh, again, he's just losing the front end. Just got to be careful that he's going to get some damage on that car if he keeps hitting that wall. You can see the car doesn't seem happy at the moment. He's fighting a wounded car, Lockie. He's got those 7 laps to get to the end. I'd say he will let his teammate Sato through here. He doesn't want to probably put up too much of a fight. He's already fighting his own pain at the moment. Oh, see this the rear ends too. So just there he goes. He's just let Sato through. So Sato now into second position. That previous lap at 2:04.761. So it just shows the new tyres were the way to go. Oh man, come on man, what are you doing? Was definitely the way to go, because you can just see that the time that he's been able to do, and he's made a few little mistakes though, Sato, so one would also think that maybe he could have been a little bit closer to Fish, who didn't do the tyres. He double stinted. So there's arguments there to say, well, Fish double stinted and he's got a 26 second margin on Sato, but I think Sato's made a little mistake here or there. And Fish as well has been able to run his own race. He hasn't had much of a challenge since he came out of the pits. He leapt from Lockie, came out in front. So the question is though, will Lockie be able to hold on for third now with Woody Lizard? In a 2:06.2 the previous lap to Lockie's 2:09, but he did slow down coming down Conrod to let Sato through. So that's the question though. Will we see the Lockie being a hold on to that third place? One extra position that Sato won't need to have to deal with if that's the case on the restart of session 2, if he can be in third position when he takes control of the Preston Hire car of Lockie's. So that's a big thing that will be wanting to happen. If Woody can get Lockie, that means Blue Falcon jumps in the car of the Mobile One Appliances car, but Sato will have to try and deal with Blue Falcon at the start of the race. That adds an element of risk as well for any driver that needing to overtake other cars. And we know Sato has got that pace to be competing against Fish Racing. So Sato will be hoping Lockie can stay, and Lockie doesn't want to get even further behind either, and Tim Lawson may just stay on the lead lap here. He's still got that time on his side, Tim Lawson, which is great. You could actually see there's a good possibility that we'll see 5 cars still on the same lap, on the lead lap at the end of this 40 lap session. But remember also, Tim Lawson was the first driver to pit. I just remembered that he pitted on lap 18. Will he be struggling with fuel? He's still going faster than Pegasus at this stage. And he's got, what's he got? A 5-second gap on Pegasus. Be interesting to sort of see, well, 1 minute 51 behind the leader, with the leaders doing 2:06s. So he's basically, Pegasus has got around about 15-second margin, roughly 15 to 10-second margin on Fish Racing, but he's also lapping roughly 2 seconds quicker a lap. So it's going to be touch and go if Pegasus can stay on the lead lap. Fish makes a little mistake, that'll be the end of Pegasus. He will definitely fall. I mean, we'll be able to stay on the lead lap. And if Fish made a mistake, you'd think Jay Barrett may be able to, with 2 minutes 21, he may be able to get back on the lead lap. So there you go, we could have 7 cars on the lead lap. Obviously I know how it all turned out, but I'm not going to disclose that during this stream. For the authenticity of it. Sorry, I always get tongue twisted with some of the English language. That's why, kids, you got to learn at school. Stay at school and behave. It is boring, but at least you will be able to pronounce words a lot better than one woody lizard. Oh, here we go. We've got, whoops, we want to have a look here. We got Woody Lizard. So Lockie has had a big moment. And now we got Woody Lizard right on Lockie. That was at a blink of an eye. 1 minute there, he had a bit of a margin. So here's a battle. I'd say it'll be only time. Oh yes, he's given Woody Lizard that position again. He doesn't want to fight Lockie. It's a nice, respectful driving by Lockie when he knows he's in hurt, in pain. He just wants to, he knows that he can just keep rotating and staying on the same lap. So it brings the Mobile One appliances up into 3rd position. Probably a 2-second difference on that previous lap, as well as Woody just pinches the brake going up into the cutting on entry. So Pegasus is finding a little bit of time. You can just see there. Oh, and there's Fish Racing. So there's the leader of the race. So I don't think Pegasus will be able to stay on this lead lap as much as he'd want to. I just think Fish Racing has just got that extra pace. Oh, Tim Lawson has just dropped. So Pegasus just jumped into 5th. So Tim Lawson, something happened to Tim. Everything looks alright, but obviously he's ran wide somewhere. And we'll keep an eye on Pegasus here to see if he can actually try and keep on the lead lap. As that's probably the battle that you're sort of looking at the moment, with Woody Lizard actually taking away from Lockie now a little bit. Not too much, but just over a second, a gap. And Lockie's doing well, just to try and maintain that gap a little bit. So Tim Lawson, I don't know if maybe he wanted to get that lap down. Maybe it's to do with fuel, because as we said, it was very marginal, so maybe he wanted to fall that lap down. Probably knew it was going to happen anyway. That lap there where we saw it happen was at 2 minutes 22 seconds, so I think it's more than just letting off for fuel. I think he's obviously had a spin somewhere. blue flags will be waving for Pegasus. There's not much more he can do. Obviously he doesn't have to yield though, because he is fighting to stay on the lead lap, knowing that the session's almost over, and wanting to stay on the lead lap. But look at how much distance that Fish can make on Pegasus in the braking there of the chase. So 3 more laps remaining for Fish Racing. As Pegasus, you can see, he does want to try and stay on that lead lap, but since we've been watching, the gap has dropped dramatically, closed in. So here we go, Fish on the outside. So this is where Pegasus just has to yield now. That's when you can't fight. Definitely when the leader gets side by side to you. While you've got him fair and squarely behind you, yes, you can still keep fighting a little bit late in the race. But definitely when the leader comes alongside you, you need to sort of yield then in any braking area. I think Dark Lord, yeah, he's in the pits somewhere, I think. Oh no, he's up in the sky. So it's morphed over from Project Cars as well. So don't worry about that. So we'll pick up, go run through the order from down the back. So we've got Jay Barrett. Well, let's have a look at Dark Lord. Hang on, we can do this. That's what we can do. There we go. Floating around, up high in the sky. Taking a quick trip back home, I'd say, in the Petronas Cool Drive car. And now we go Jay Barrett as he's making his way down the mountain with that bumper holding by a thread at the front. He hasn't lost it, so that's a good thing. So he's a 2 laps down, I think, or a lap down by the time he gets onto his right lap. Then we have Tim Lawson, who's only 4 seconds behind Pegasus. Tim Lawson's doing a good job as Pegasus coming up now the hill there. So yeah, not too far, Tim, but obviously Tim's definitely fuel servant, but Pegasus has made a few mistakes as well. 2:11 that last lap, so he's put himself back in the clutches of Tim Lawson. Both these drivers are double stinting, so they'll be doing the second session as well. And here we go. So we got Lockie starting his penultimate lap in 4th position. Going up the hill, he's 6 seconds behind Woody Lizard. Should see Woody Lizard coming up through the cut in here. Here he is. 44 seconds off the lead. So a good managed race by Woody. Not quite having the pace of the leaders, but still pretty consistent pace. Obviously it's me around here for this race, for this session. If you're wondering about the livery packs as well, they're obviously on Race Department. The V8 Supercar skin pack. Worthwhile getting and whacking on to really freshen up the liveries that were available in the game. And you get these well presented cars. And Sato 15 now about to start the final lap of this race. 22 seconds off the lead, which will go to this man here, Fish Racing, for his final lap. How about we get a full monitor view? There we go. To enjoy the leader completing the 40 laps. What a great drive that Fish Racing 3 has been able to do here in the opening session to take victory over 20 seconds from Sato 15, who jumped into the Coke car for Red. So Red will be starting the second session, the final session, in second position. So that's not too bad for a driver rocking up and taking control, and see if he can take that Coke car to victory or even a podium in the final session. But Fish loves to call Bathurst his own. It's not over yet, though. He's still got another 41 laps remaining, but he's set the benchmark at the moment. So well done to Fish Racing 3, taking out that first session. This man here, Sato 15, not too far behind in second position. So a nice drive by Sato to finish home in second. Now the lap down guys, we'll bring them up too if we can. Obviously Pegasus, his race is already over in fifth position. Tim Lawson, which will be the Bottle car, in sixth. Jay Barrett, he's already lapped down, but he's going straight through the chase in seventh. And then hopefully we can get to Woody Lizard. He's finished there in second. Jeez, it's not working for me. Oh, and there we go, finish with Lockie. So let's just pause that now. So the end results, watching the replay, it was a little bit awkward there at the end to pick up the drivers, but we had Fish Racing 3 taking out the race over 1 hour, 25 minutes and 2 seconds, 40 laps. And then second was Sato 15 in the Coke racing car, 24 seconds behind. In third was Woody Lizard in the Mobile One Appliances online racing car, 47 seconds behind in third. Lockie 55 stayed on the lead lap in the 48 Preston Hire car, and he was just under a minute, 59 seconds off the lead. Then the lap down guys was Pegasus in the Castrol racing car. He was a lap down. And we had Tim Lawson just finishing on an oily rag in the end, a lap down in sixth for the Bottle racing car. And then in seventh was Jay Barrett for Ned Racing, a lap down as well. And he was the biggest drop from pole down to seventh. And Dark Lord as well was the final car in the Petronas car. He didn't finish. I don't know how many laps he ended up doing, but he was obviously a non-finisher. He was up in the clouds there. So that's the end of the replay of the first session. So up on YouTube, you'll see already the stream that we did, the live stream of the final session with myself, Neil Haynes, in the booth doing the commentary. Well worth the watch. There was plenty of action that happened throughout that race, and it was very entertaining too. For a small grid of 7 cars, Dark Lord did not make the grid for the final session. It was still entertaining. There was still plenty on. So hopefully we get back to we get some good grids. Our next event, I believe, will be the Monaco, the 1988 running of the Monaco Grand Prix, the full 78 laps in the Gen 2 cars, the 1988 cars, V6, V8s, I think they are, V8, V10. They've got the two options. And then we come back for the end of the year with the big Bathurst, I mean not the Bathurst, the Adelaide 500. And that's going to be two sessions, two 250k sessions, just like we've done here at Bathurst. So it's going to mimic the Adelaide 500 of the real life for these V8 supercars. So you can find all that on our website. So go over to our website at aus-nzcrl.weebly.com, and I think that we may even have a link on our Twitch and YouTube channel to be able to go over to our website, and you'll be able to find all the information there of all the schedule anyway, the calendar. There's probably no information on those races at the moment that are coming, but they'll be up shortly. Alright, thanks for your view. I hope you enjoyed, and we look forward to seeing some new drivers here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League for our special events. But don't forget to go and check Gravel Trap Legends out, and also Race Engineers on Discord for all your automobilista racing for Australia, New Zealand drivers out there. Alright, cheerio everyone. Thanks for watching.